Welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Campbell.
It is a pleasure to almost be done in under an hour.
Oh.
So that sounds positive, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I actually said I don't want to be.
Yeah. Like, the faster we wrap this up.
Yeah. Pleasure to almost be done with this. For good.
What if... Campbell, we're so far away from being done with this.
No.
Technically, every episode, we do get closer to the end.
Yeah, and that's a pleasure.
That is a pleasure.
I'll say this. It's a pleasure to be doing another episode.
Yeah.
Because that means we're close to the end.
Do you know we don't have a caveat of, like, how long an episode needs to be?
All right, well, thanks for listening, everyone. And we will
One episode closer. One episode closer to the end. That's all we need.
That's true.
It's really, we could knock
We
these out.
love a loophole. People know that.
Yeah, we could do 100 episodes a day. Hello, welcome to Anyway, see you later.
It'll just start playing again as it's playing the intro.
Yeah,
It'll start playing the outro.
Yeah, that's good. Anywho, this is a podcast about Reddit. And we should get into it, I suppose. This is first one is by Bug Barn, and it was in a subreddit hypothetical situation. Crap, was this one cross-posted to us?
It's very possible this was cross-posted to us.
Cross-posted to us by
Gone Emotionally.
Gone Emotionally. Yeah, good one. Sorry if it wasn't you and it was cross-posted by somebody else. Anyway, would you pay $1,000 USD to never see an advertisement ever again for the rest of your life? Every possible way you could be advertised to from now on until you die. It all disappears. No more advertisements for you, ever.
Well, I don't like this all or nothing approach.
It's a bit tricky, isn't it?
Because I love a movie trailer.
Yeah.
But that's an advertisement.
Yeah.
Like, I'm aware that that's an advertisement.
Yeah,
but I
that's
like
right.
watching them.
Yeah, it's more complex than it seems on the surface.
I would
think.
pay $1,000 USD to pick what can advertise to me. So I can be like, hey, you know what? All social media, no ads.
Yeah.
Or whatever, no ads. All television, no ads.
Yeah.
But, you know, if I were watching the Super Bowl, maybe I want to see those ads. They're like a big thing, yeah.
They're the only ads I actually ever want to see, I think.
If someone goes, say that the new equivalent of whatever the Old Spice commercial is. Remember how that went viral back in the day? If someone's like, oh my God, have you seen this new Old Spice commercial? I'd go, I want to see it. So
yeah.
turn it back on, watch it, turn it back off.
There is also a show in Australia called The Gruen Transfer.
Talk about that next week, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon we should. And that is a show about advertising. That would be the worst. It's such a good show.
Yeah.
It would be so boring to watch.
Me, I'd watch the intro.
Yeah.
And then it would just have a tone go.
Just static. Yeah.
And I could see them talking.
And then it'd cross back to the panel.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, so what did you think about that? And they'd talk in depth about it. And you're like, I have no context.
Yeah,
for
but
this.
then whenever they
annoying.
mention the brand, it would just beep again.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm getting the inside out of this I used to.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there what's the form of advertising that is the pinnacle of like I need to consume this kind of thing for because it can even be things, right, about like I would say technology and stuff that I'm interested to buy or
look,
you know, like
that's the thing. I will sometimes, if I'm looking at purchasing a product, say it was like a video light, and I wanted to know about it, I'm fine to watch a video that company has sponsored if it will show me all the features.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't need it to be an in-depth review and tear down, whatever. So if it's like, oh, this is sponsored by Video Light Inc., I'm like, that's cool. Just show me what the thing does. I want to know if it will fit my purposes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if this is... I don't actually think I would. Now, my initial impression was like, yeah, $1,000, sure.
I would only do it if you could curate what ads you see.
Yeah, that's right. And also, this kind of links into my problem that I bring up, honestly, every like 3 or 4 episodes about people using ad block and stuff and trying to get rid of ads when they pay for a free service.
Yeah.
I still have the same thing. Like, if I pay $1,000, is that going to pay? Because that seems like not enough to pay all the free services that I get that currently have advertising.
Yeah.
Does that mean that those services will cease to exist?
Or technically, if it's just you and you're just a little pebble in the ocean, maybe it won't affect the industry as a whole.
Yeah, maybe.
Only you getting this.
Yeah.
It can sustain one person.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if it's just you. But then also, here's the thing. What if, like, okay, it's not that you don't see the ads, but it's just like static.
Oh, yeah, that'd be terrible.
That would be so annoying. You'd be like, no,
That's true.
I would just prefer to sit through.
If you're watching free-to-air broadcast TV, there will be blocks that are set for ads. What do you see?
Yeah, what do you see in that time? Like, if the episode continues to you.
Yeah, then you're just ahead of everyone on the schedule.
Yeah.
You're finishing shows like 11 minutes
Your
early.
laughs would be off. You'd be so embarrassed.
Yeah, like if I'm watching, I don't know, like a Game of Thrones style show, and I have the ad blocker and Stacey doesn't.
Yeah.
And then during one ad break she watches ads and I don't, so it keeps playing for me.
Yeah.
And then like a terrible death happens, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That's gonna ruin it for her.
Yeah. Or if you're like, ha ha ha, that's funny. I like that.
Yeah.
But you haven't realized that 10 minutes before there was an incestuous scene. And Stacey's like, oh no, this is not good. Yeah, riddled with holes, this, I'd say.
Bug Barn, I want you to sort out all the questions we have and come back to us with a revised offer.
I want a revised offer. I want clear, concise details about all this.
It is specifically because they say every possible way you can be advertised to from now until you die. If you went to Times Square, it'd be so boring.
Yeah.
Like, look at all these buildings. Tokyo would be, you couldn't visit.
Yeah. You get hit by a car. It's covered in advertising. Yeah, that's it's pretty crazy. It is interesting actually to think about all forms in which we are advertised to.
Yeah, they say that the average person now is exposed to more than 1,000 ads a day.
That seems believable
to
me. Yeah.
But like it's great, like billboard. I think they technically say things like, if you see the McDonald's arches in the distance, that is technically an ad.
It's technically advertising, yeah. But then, does it even go to the extent of, if I'm like, hey, Cambo, I saw this great movie.
Beep.
Yeah.
No, because you're not being paid. Like, that's an endorsement.
What if
that's
there's product placement in a movie?
Yeah.
Which there often is.
Yeah, the Transformers movies would just be a big long beat.
Yeah. Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad, though, would it?
Yeah, it's already just noise.
Yeah, you're like, I give it about 3 out of 10, and people who watch the whole thing, they're like, yeah, me too. Yeah. So, it made no difference.
Yeah, I didn't understand the plot. Yeah, no, me neither.
Yeah, they rebooting that? Transformers?
Properly.
I feel like I saw something.
Oh, yeah, there's a new animated movie here.
Oh. I'll be okay with reboot. I joke about it, but like those movies were just like the action trash that I like out of something like Bad Boys, for example. I haven't seen the most recent Bad Boys campaign.
They make a lot of money. So
yeah.
They'd be stupid not to try.
Yeah, I get it.
Which is, I find it funny whenever someone's like, oh, why are they making another Transformers? And I think the fourth one made a $1.3 billion.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like, if you were an executive,
and
someone said, "Hey, you know that movie that made $1.3 billion?
Yeah.
You know, if you did that again, you could probably get another $1.3 billion.
Yeah, maybe 1.2.
I think you will. Yeah. Look, you might not get 1.3, but you might get 900 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah, it would actually be crazy if they did it.
Yeah. It's funny. I think, do you know what I found quite funny recently? If people have been keeping up with The Boys, this hasn't been much of a spoiler, but they do like a press conference for like the movies that are coming out from the VOT universe, and it's very much making fun of Disney.
Yeah. The whole Marvel phase thing.
Marvel phase, lots of different phases. And they're like, yeah, it's been 3 years since we've had a reboot, so how about another one? Everybody's like, yeah. Like, it's so funny. But like, true, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, people have the same problem with like Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
I'd say, love the Fast and Furious films. Not because
they
are in-depth, masterpieces, but because they're just like crazy, stupid action that is...
We laugh along with them.
Exactly.
Assuming that they are also laughing.
Yeah, well, Vin isn't, obviously. He's very... he thinks they're very serious. But, I'm totally fine with those movies.
Yeah.
Bring out more. Nah, not more. Just like what we've got right now. All right, Kemba, let's move into Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. This Ask Reddit is by Irish Dickhead 99. What's the best piece of dad lore you've ever heard?
Dad lore? I don't even know what dad lore is.
I didn't really know what dad lore was either. But I went into the comments and I was pleasantly surprised. I feel like I...
No, you're pleasantly surprised.
I'm pleasantly surprised. So I thought I'd read some of the comments.
Please.
They're basically just stories about people's dads.
Oh, stuff your dad's done.
Stuff your dad's done.
Of course.
That you're like, classic dad.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to read a few people because I thought they were enjoyable. This one was by Penguins2451. My dad was once dating a girl who was into golf. Oh, nah, dump her.
Sounds like he did.
I'm joking.
He didn't say my mum.
Yeah. She took him to a major tournament, don't know which one, to watch it with her and her dad. She was obsessed with one of the golfers there, so she and her dad woke up early to go around and follow the golfer. My dad sleeps in and then isn't interested in the golf. Normal person. So he goes to the nearby beach. There was a man there with windsurfing boards, and he decides to give one to my dad for free because everyone is at the golf. He windsurfs for a couple hours and then returns to the golf around hole 15. He meets up with his girlfriend and her dad and lies and says he walked around the holes and watched a few different people and everything goes fine. I like how, just interlude here. I like how you can pretend to watch golf and people will believe you because oh, yeah, I watched, whatever, Greg something. There's an Australian golfer called Greg something.
Yeah, Norman.
Yeah.
The shark.
And you can be like, oh, how was it? Like, oh,
yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, hit some balls. There's no follow-up questions to really check if somebody has or has not been watching the golf.
I love the idea that she's like, oh, I haven't seen you all day. Your hair looks very windswept. No, just golf hair.
That's how cool it was. It was such awesome golf. My hair just did this.
Yeah, and got salty.
Anyway, he returns to home and then a few nights later goes to her house for dinner. He sits down with a plate of lasagna for dinner. I just want to say, I've read to the end of this already, and the point that he's eating lasagna is just not important. Anyway, for dinner. And they're watching the golf reruns, and the commentator pans out and does a full zoom around and sees my dad windsurfing, zooms in on his face and says, there's a lad who's not very interested in the golf. My dad was dumped on the spot.
It's such a funny lie as well to not be like, hey, I'm not that into the golf, so I'll meet you there later, which I think is a fine thing to have said.
It's like that relationship was doomed from the start when you're like, I feel like I have to lie about this hobby that you've got.
Yeah.
Just it's fine. Be like, hey, I went to the beach for a bit today.
Yeah.
You don't even need to go into the windsurfing bit. It's fine. And then funny that she was like, how dare you windsurf and not watch the golf? Dumped. See you later.
I love the added commentary of there's a lad that's not into the golf.
Yeah, exactly. So good. All right, here this one is by Power Whiz 4. There is a story about my grandfather who served in the Pacific Theatre in World War II. Mm-hmm. As I was told, he was on patrol when an ambush occurred. While running back to his companions, a grenade landed at his feet. He picked it up and threw it back at the Japanese soldier who had thrown it. who in turn picked it up and threw it back. They played this game of catch for a few tosses before they both realized the grenade hadn't been primed. Grandfather looked at the soldier looked at him, and they both shrugged in that, do we really have to do this sort of way? So the next toss, the soldier pulls the pin and just lobs the grenade way out of the way of either of them, and they both just go their separate ways. Cut to a few nights later, I guess the soldier had been found dead. Grandpa recognized him from a photo in his wallet that a serviceman had nabbed. Grandfather was able to steal the wallet back, and years later, he was able to return it to the family based on the stuff he found inside.
Wow.
And I actually love this next comment, which I think is great. It's by Clownfish Soup. Wow. Wow, that's amazing. Two men realize that they are just two guys caught in this war.
Yeah.
Which is like, so incredible and such the point of that, right? Like, you die. No, you die. You die. You know what? Let's neither of us die.
Yeah.
And let's just go home, you know?
It's this idea of like they thought they were in a death game. Yeah. Then when they realized that they weren't, they were both like, should we just not?
Let's just not make it so that one of us dies.
Yeah, and, stories like that in the war always, it both fills me with hope and makes me so sad.
Yeah.
It fills me with hope that people can't, like, generally I think people are like, should we just get along?
Yeah.
But it fills me with sadness because when wars break out, like the people that start the wars don't fight the wars.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So these two regular people had to do that.
Yeah. It's annoying with this idea of like, you know, like, fuck you, Vladimir Putin. Like, go fight in that war that you started. Be on the front lines and hold a gun.
I think
fuck you.
All Quiet on the Western Front is a movie that really points out there's a disparity between the generals making all the decisions and the people that fight those wars are not the same people.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful story though. Like this idea that they just both realize that, oh, we don't have to do this.
It's not as, it's not going to change the war. No. One of us die. Yeah. That's really interesting.
It's kind of like that tale of, I think they're in France, where on Christmas they all just stopped fighting and played soccer together.
Yeah, exactly.
It's such a nice thing to be like, we're not different. Like,
You know. Also, it's like the movie Enemy at the Gates.
Yeah.
Not really. I just wanted to mention that's a really cool film.
Yeah.
And I thought about it as we were talking, and I had no other way to bring it up.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, that's a ice cold recommendation.
Ice cold recommendation. Oh god, they're so old.
What, 2002 maybe?
Really? I'm surprised that it's even in the 2000s. I thought it would be the 90s. Like, it's a good movie. Anyway, here's another one. Wait, should I? Yeah, let's do another one. Okay. Should I? Nah, let's do another one. My dad. Oh, now I'm not even sure. Oh, no, let's read this one. This is crazy. Okay. This is by Back to This Reality. My dad is in his 70s and comes from a large family, 14 brothers and sisters. Money was very tight, so on Christmas they wouldn't get very much and ended up sharing a lot of the gifts. He never really talked about the gifts he got, but loved to tell us about Krampus. Apparently on Christmas Eve, after the kids have gone to sleep, they would dress in all black. I'm assuming this is like his grandparents would dress in all black and kidnap the child that misbehaved the most, then took them into the woods. They would then tie them up to a tree and put coal around their feet. The kids would wake up in the morning and have to figure out which kid was missing and then go free them. When he talks about this, he makes it sound like a fond memory.
Yeah.
He said that he was tied up only once and it was very cold and scary. I guess it was a good way to get the kids to behave throughout the year. How insane is that?
Yeah, I wish that the Western world we lived in had more Krampus.
Yeah,
because Krampus is such a cool mythology of like just a ghoul that comes every
a bad Santa in a way.
Yeah, but not in the Billy Bob Thornton mold. If he just drinks too much, he's just like a fucked up ghoul.
Yeah.
He'll come and get you.
Well, yeah, the history of Santa Claus is really interesting in itself because it is pagan origin in stuff like Santa Claus and then Krampus comes from that, and it's way more dark and way just totally evolved in the Western world anyway.
Yeah,
like it came from that place,
being a big coke ad.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
like, would you see Santa anymore if you rocked ads?
You wouldn't doesn't see Santa anymore. No. I guess I've already blocked ads, Cambo. I just haven't realized. But that is totally nuts. Could you imagine anyone doing that today? If they got found out, they would be on 60 Minutes straight away. 60 Minutes an Australian reference?
No. They're 60 Minutes.
Okay, they would be on 60 Minutes Cambo. Like if you had just be like child abuse.
If you had said Today Tonight or A Current Affair, then perhaps.
Yeah.
If Peter Hitchener would be knocking on their door.
Honestly, I went for the only one that was relevant to
probably.
other parts of the world, perhaps. All right, Campbell, let's move on and get into Today I Learned advice.
So now it's time for Today I Learned. Let's play the intro to that.
Today I Learned.
And also sometimes advice.
This Today I Learned is by Tyrion 2024. Today I learned in 2022, seatbelt use in the US was 91.6% of occupants, which means 8.4% unrestrained. And unrestrained occupant deaths accounted for 49.8% of deaths. Cambo, I'm going to relate this to something that's kind of crazy. Who's a crazy right-wing guy that's kind of been cancelled? Jordan? No.
Peterson?
Nah, it's not him. That's who I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Tucker Carlson.
No, not him.
Alex
either.
Jones.
Nah, anyway, it's some other crazy.
Yeah. Some other grifter, yeah, okay.
Some other grifter. More of an influencer, I think. Oh, God, it's going to annoy me that I can't.
Ben Shapiro.
No. Isn't that? Okay, no, never mind. Anyway, they recently had some stupid fucking viral video that was like making fun of data analysts, which I found this out because I am a data analyst, and my boss, as a data analyst, was like, "Hey, you got to check this video out," and was like, "What is data?" Blah, 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 blah. That's what he sounded like. Because he was just talking about like...
Sounds like it could be Steven Crowder.
Data means nothing, and it's such a myth to know less. Fuck, it's going to annoy the shit out of me that I can't remember this guy's name. Anyway. I think it's so interesting, right? Because this whole point of like, yeah, you can be in the 8.4% of unrestrained people without a seatbelt and be like, who needs it? It does nothing. It's just statistics that are telling you that you need a seatbelt. And then they become one of the 49.8%.
Yeah.
Almost half, but like way less than those wearing a seatbelt. It boggles my mind. I find it so interesting where, we have these stats and granted, like nobody necessarily knows these figures, but now that you've learned it, if you're somebody that doesn't wear a seatbelt, just fucking wear a seatbelt. Actually, you know what? No, I'm fine if you are the person who's like, I will decide my own fate by not wearing any seatbelt. You're fine. You can be in the 49%.
It reminds me. I remember my dad told me once. He was young and he was young at the time, but old enough to have remembered when seatbelts became mandatory. Mm-hmm. And he was like, "It's crazy," because at the time everyone was like, "Oh, okay." All this goddamn safety regulations and stuff. Like, this is like, there was a sentiment that like it was them being so overprotective.
Yeah.
But now, like, if you look at the data, and as we know, data is bullshit.
Yeah, bloody data, mate.
It works.
Yeah.
I believe it was the same with like windscreen wipers.
Right.
Like when windscreen wipers were an invention that came fairly late after cars.
Yeah.
And there was even some, I believe, pushback of people being like, I don't think you need windscreen wipers.
Yeah.
But they're so fundamental.
Cambo, can I tell you an honest fact? There was a time where my car's windscreen wipers wasn't working. And then one night it was raining pretty heavily. Yeah. Not insane, but like heavy. And after a certain point, there was so much water running down the windshield that it actually didn't obscure my vision.
So you just need to be in that sweet spot.
Like because you can imagine it, right? Yeah. Like a droplet of water, the light is dispersed in a different way. You can't see very well.
Yeah.
But if just constant running water, if you're behind that, you can see perfectly well.
It's a bit wavy, maybe.
A little bit wavy.
But like visible.
But like, honestly, if I had to choose between that or windscreen wipers, I would choose that all the time. So I'm anti
Myth busted.
Myth busted. Wouldn't that be so funny? Actually, I have a problem with Mythbusters, which I'm just going to bring up now.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's plenty of times where they dance around a myth that is considered like a safety kind of law, but they kind of don't go into it in too much. Actually, I'll give you an example, right? They did a myth once where they were saying, is it faster to duck and weave into traffic or just stay in one lane? So they did a test where every car stayed in, one lane. They were numbered. They had a helicopter above so they could like track them. And then one car that was like ducking and weaving. And the car that ducked and weaved beat every other car. And it was maybe by like a few minutes, like 5 minutes or something. And then at the end, they were like, well, what does this prove? Oh, yes, ducking, weaving. Oh, I guess technically it means that you get there faster. Oh, but I was so stressed while I was doing it. I only saved a couple of minutes. And I was like, it's a better form.
Yeah.
If you want to get somewhere faster, duck and weave.
We all understand that you're an asshole if you do it.
Yeah.
But the evidence does seem to suggest it works.
Yeah. And I feel like there's lots of other myths that they do occasionally. Sorry that I'm so passionate about Mythbusters. It's still stuck on my Samsung TV at home. It's all I watch. Okay, but let's move on into shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts.
This shower thought is by The Evil You Know. Saying the name of a movie in a movie is noteworthy. Saying the name of a song in a song is expected.
You know what I love? It's a very niche subgenre, but of songs whose name isn't what you'd expect it to be based on its chorus.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
okay.
I would say the classic example is Four Non-Blondes. Yeah, I said, hey, what's going on?
Right, yeah.
That song's called What's Up.
Did they say what's up?
No, they say what's going on.
Yeah,
I think maybe.
No, but I mean, like
in the possibly. I don't know,
verses or something. Yeah.
But it's like
funny.
You would be so within your rights to think it's called What's Going On.
Yeah,
because that's the big catch of it that everyone sings.
Yeah,
and it's titled so close to that.
I just realized I should have used this as a podnapping. Yeah. I don't know. I can't think of what the rules would be. Anyway, I struggled to, and I came up with one, because obviously I looked at the shower thought earlier when I was putting it together. I came up with one that I can think of the name of a song that is not said in the lyric.
Yeah.
Confidently. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would say...
Can you think of many?
Yeah, the pop music is generally... you get it more.
Yeah.
But like a bunch of the artists I listen to just have nonsense titles.
Okay,
don't have anything to do with with it. Yeah.
I do remember listening to some screamo band once with the title of the song was Anesthetist. And Camber, they said anesthetist a lot in their song. You wouldn't think so.
Well,
it's a difficult word.
I think Fall Out Boy are known for having kind of obscure,
just
weird
crazy
titles that don't really have anything to do.
The mainstream line, the most popular song that I could think of that has a name that's not a lyric is Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, yeah. But remember at the end when they go, and that is Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. It's kind of an outro. I don't really count it.
Yeah, so like if Fall Out Boy song is called, it's not a side effect of the cocaine, I am thinking it must be love.
Okay.
Without knowing that song, I don't believe that's probably a lyric.
Yeah. But yeah, otherwise it's really difficult, I think, to think of a song.
Yeah, I would say especially in like pop and rock, like mainstream pop and rock music.
Yeah.
I would say there's a song by Sum 41 called The Hell Song. but at no point do they refer to it as the Hell song.
Yeah, that's true.
Or Fat Lip, actually, is another one of their songs. I don't think they say Fat Lip in that at all.
Do you know what's confusing? Is another Queen song is one's called Bicycle.
Yeah.
No, they sing that
They
immediately.
sing that a lot.
They say bicycle, bicycle.
Not just one person, but many people, many times.
But this is, they also have a song called Fat Bottom Girls.
Yeah.
Okay, they still say Fat Bottom Girls. Yeah. But weirdly, this is like a unique genre where they mention the other name of the song in each other's songs. So in the song Bicycle, they talk about fat bottom girls, they'll be coming today.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, what song am I listening to? And it's like, no, you're listening to the bicycle song. But And I think the same sort of thing, the fat bottom girls, it's like, I'm going to ride my bicycle.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they do, yeah.
So that's its own unique thing. Crossover lyrics for different songs.
There is a group known as Aaron West and the Roaring Twenties.
Yeah.
And Aaron West is not a real person.
Yeah.
But the whole project is written as if it was written by Aaron West. And they do that a lot in songs where there'll be a song about someone and they'll kind of introduce you to that person. And then like 5 songs later, they'll very casually mention that person.
Yeah.
And if you hadn't listened to that song, you'd be like, who's Luke?
Why is this? Yeah. It's good. I kind of like the songs with a overarching narrative.
Well, there's 3 albums of overarching narrative on Aaron West. They just wrapped it up this year. But yeah, it's like there's a character in the 3rd album that released this year that is introduced in the 1st album in one song that comes back in the 3rd album.
Okay.
And because I've listened to them all, I was like, oh yeah, Rose is here.
Yeah.
But if you were listening to that for the first time, you'd be like, what?
Yeah. It'd be funny if they start referencing them like, Rose, you know her from before.
You met her in track 6, album 1.
Okay, here's another one. This is by CMDR Omnicognate. Most modern cars would be useless in a zombie apocalypse since they would stop you from hitting zombies. I've never thought about this. I'm now pro gas guzzler, anti technology cars.
There was an interesting aspect of The Last of Us that I enjoyed about cars.
Oh, yeah.
Which is they're saying because so many cars have sat there for so long, petrol has kind of degraded.
Yeah, and it's not actually as
you,
potent.
You get so little fuel for all the petrol now, so you just need to constantly keep filling up a car. Therefore, they're not actually that useful.
Yeah.
It's like really, if you're trying to...
destroys the Mad Max universe.
Shut up. Now I'm beginning to think this Mad Max universe doesn't hold up.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Actually. All right, here's another one, though. This is by Miles Away From Here, Too. If Pokemon existed IRL, we'd be seeing way more dead Pokemon than we thought.
I do know people that have come to Australia and they said a lot of the native animals that you think of in Australia, the first time they saw them was just dead.
Yeah,
by the side of the road.
Yeah. It's a kangaroo. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I would say it's not uncommon to see our national animals dead on the road.
I would say I've seen more dead kangaroos than alive ones.
Yeah.
Pretty confidently, I reckon.
Yeah. I would say wombats as well.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
I've
seen so few live wombats in the nature, but I have seen dead wombats.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, here's a side question: which Pokemon do you think would taste the best? That's what I.
You're testing me here. Charizard
of the limited amount. Fire based. For some reason, I feel like he would taste burnt.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Well, okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Do you know about part of the reason, not entirely, but part of the reason that giant tortoises are so rare and on verge of extinction?
Yes. Wasn't this like the Galapagos Islands when they came over? They were like, this is so delicious.
They just kept eating them. They kept eating them.
So Bulbasaur.
Yeah. Well, no, he's like what's the turtle? Squirtle. or like whatever.
Oh, Squirtle. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
Squirtle. Like the literal turtle.
Yeah. I'm saying that, yeah. If these giant tortoises are
what
to be
is he
believed,
evolving into? There's like
Blastoise?
Blastoise and like War Turtle. Is that
something
War
like
Turtle?
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the whatever the biggest one is.
Whatever the biggest one is.
Cook him.
Delicious. Do you know what? Also, I think Snorlax.
Oh yeah, I think that would be very
Just
blubbery.
a big fatty dude. Yeah, but some of him would be delicious.
That's true. You get to the core of him. Yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be sick? Could you imagine being a Pokemon? No. You're in the Pokemon world. Everything's full of whimsy, and
I think
you get caught
being. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're gone.
You get caught as a Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then you're like, that's cool. I'll serve you from now on. Apparently, that's the rules.
Yeah. And I'm fine with it, I guess.
And then you're in your little ball.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, there's a bit of rumbling. You're like, oh, I'm about to come out. And you come out, and you're in a kitchen.
It would be like...
And there's a guy with a knife.
cracking an egg into a pot. You tap it on the side and you crack it open. But just a Pokemon falls out into an already boiling pot.
Yeah, boiling pot of water. Yeah, I think that's how it work.
Oh, it'd be hard to boil him because isn't water his power? Does he absorb that water?
Oh, yeah.
You need to roast him, I guess.
That's true. Yeah, we're straight into the oven. That's right. But, the idea that it would be nuts, right? Because the idea of, like, fresh meat is not really something humans have developed many ways to cure meat to last for a long period of time. I think if the Pokeball was theoretically just a way to keep live meat inside, you would go to a restaurant and just like you choose fish from a fish tank,
you'd pick up a Pokeball.
You'd be like, I'll choose that buffalo-like Pokemon. There's got to be some sort of buffalo-like Pokemon. I'll have that one. And then they crack it open, murder it in the back. What a world we would have lived in, Cambo. Anywho, all right, let's move on into podnapping.
Oh my God, I'm being podnapped.
Podnapping. This is podnapping, where we nap a pod. We take a topic of conversation or a segment from another thing, and we do it ourselves.
Go on then.
This week could be my week. Is it?
You tell me.
Here's the thing, Kimbo. I got a lot of moving parts.
Okay, you're moving and you're shaking, are you?
I've got stuff over here. I've got stuff over there.
You got several metaphorical Pokemon in the oven.
I've got. They're in the oven.
Yeah.
They're cooking.
Yeah.
I've got to baste them again. Okay. We're only halfway. Okay. Here's what I'd like to propose.
Sure.
Could we possibly?
Yeah.
This is more of a demand than a question, although I have phrased it like a question.
Yeah.
Could we possibly just swap weeks?
Uh-huh.
So this week is your week.
Yep.
The next week is my week. And then the week after that is my week again. Mm-hmm. I'll do 2 in a row.
Mm. I'll say this.
Just remember, it's a demand.
I would say in terms of leverage.
Yeah.
You don't have any.
Yeah, I've got nothing.
So what if you do next week and then the week after and then the week after?
Okay, mate. I don't really love that. I don't love that as an idea.
But did you see me ask a question? It's more of a demand.
Here's the thing.
Yeah. Okay, what if...
I've already used my skip.
Okay, what if this? You do next week and the week after, but then the week after that, I just don't have to do it. And there's no point in having. You let me get off, but I don't have to use my skip.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Great, okay.
All right. Yeah, that's good.
So that means it's my week.
It's your week this week.
Luckily, I have a Pokemon already prepared.
Oh, that's good.
This is, I guess, something we do more rarely, but it's more of a topic of conversation.
Okay,
Which is something that I had discovered recently, had been playing around with, and I thought I'd present it to you because I think it's interesting, but also worthy of discussion.
Okay, yep.
We have brought up AI on this show before,
in
a few different forms, and we're pro playing around with it at least to see what it does.
Yeah. I'm actually pro the advancement of AI.
Yes, right.
Which I feel like is not necessarily.
I am negative to like AI is taking over some things that I'm like, this is just worse For example, I use stock image websites.
Yeah.
And now whenever you search for something, so much of it is AI generated images that you're like, this is not as good.
Not what I wanted. Yeah.
So I don't like that aspect of it.
Yeah.
But as far as playing,
But see, that's why I'm pro the advancement of it. Because at the moment, it kind of sucks. Give me the AI that's really good at giving me the stock footage that I want. That's exactly what I want.
But the difference with that is like, if you're using Adobe stock, which is say $80 a month, why would I use someone's AI image when I can just do Midjourney for $7 a month?
Yeah.
Like it seems like they're going to cannibalize themselves in some way there. Anyway, there's one that I came across that I hadn't heard of before, and I've asked some people, and they also hadn't heard of it, but I thought it was kind of fun.
Okay.
Which is AI music.
Okay.
Now, there has been some AI music, and it's all pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's all just like boom, 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 kind of stuff. But I came across a AI music platform. It was the first one I was like, oh, okay, this is something.
Yeah.
So I thought I would show you an example of something.
Does it?
And then perhaps we can also just try and make one as well.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm going to just assume no lyrics, right? Oh, lyrics.
Well, yes, I'll explain the process in a second.
Okay.
I decided what I would do is I'd have it write me a song.
Yeah.
In the style of a Sinatra-esque lounge musician.
I love Frankie Boy.
It's about trying to search for a podnapping on Reddit.
Okay.
And
Classic.
this is what it came up with. It's called Searching Reddit.
Oh, I'm searching Reddit, what a chore. For a segment they call Podnapping, I'm so bored. The threads and posts, they never end. In this vast digital sea, no treasure to lend. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, I'd rather be through with this endless scrolling. I've got the blues. Oh Reddit, you're testing my patience for a podcast bit. I'm losing my cadence from AMAs to memes. I've seen it all in this rabbit hole. I fear I'll fall, but the show must go on. That's what they say. So I'll keep on searching till the break of day. I'll keep on searching till the break of day.
That is fucking incredible. That is probably, legitimately, the best AI I think I've witnessed.
Really? Okay.
That to me is fucking incredible. I mean, but if you play me another one that's like exactly the same, I'd be less impressed.
I have another example I'm going to show you, but different style. But this still has some human in it.
Yeah.
In that this program, you can have it sing.
Yeah.
It can make up lyrics. They're not very good.
Yeah.
But you can also insert lyrics.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I went to ChatGPT. I said, write me a song in the style of a lounge Sinatra style song about this. Mm-hmm. And then I just pasted it in saying, here are the lyrics. This is the music I want. And then that's what it created.
Okay.
So it had some prompting from me and some manual stuff.
Which is still fine. That's still amazing.
Yeah.
Even the fact like at the end it was able to hold the note.
Well,
isn't that...
The thing you can do, and my next example actually doesn't have this.
Okay.
It'll generate it in 30-second increments. So that's two of them stitched together.
Right.
And when you go to add as element, you can either say add me an intro or add me an outro.
Okay,
I said add me an outro. So it clearly was like, okay, you need to end on a big band kind of thing.
But still, that's good.
So the next one I did is actually, it doesn't have an it just kind of stops.
Yeah.
But I told it to write me a song in the style of the Beatles.
Okay.
But about Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
So I wanted the Beatles to sing about that.
In the Shire where the green fields play, Frodo's heart is feeling far away. He's got a burden that's heavy and cold, a ring of power, stories untold. So he's packing his bags for the open road, leaving behind the place he calls home. With courage in his heart and the ring in his hand, he's stepping out to a far-off land. Oh, Frodo, where will you go? With me by his side, we'll never part. I'm a friend so true with a loyal heart. Through
There you go. That was the Beatles singing about Lord of the Rings.
That was so good. Poor Weird Al Yankovic is going to be out of a job.
So here's what I thought is we love our opening music and we're not going to change it. But I thought we could say, what else could we have as an opening song? And maybe we can create one.
Yeah.
So I thought what we'll do first is go to ChatGPT and say maybe write us
guys, we're live AIing.
Yes,
right now.
write us a song.
First we went to Bing and then we said, take us to ChatGPT. We went through several different AIs until we finally got to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bing.
Yeah, because we're not going to use Bard. That's Google's. We don't want it.
Actually, it's Gemini now. And let me tell you, it's fucking horrendous.
Is it?
My work has blocked ChatGPT and is not up with the times yet to have realized that there are other AI chatbots out there because I use it for programming and stuff. And Gemini sucks horrifically. It is so further behind ChatGPT. Anyway, so here we
All
are.
right, I've got it to write me a couple of lyrics. And it always gives you way too many. I always just use the first bit.
Yeah.
But then I thought what we need to do is we actually need to come up with a genre of music. And I have found the more specific the genre is, the better it does. If you say pop music means so much.
Oh, okay.
But if you're like, write me a ska song, it knows what ska is.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to say funk because I feel like our intro kind of
So you want it to sound more like our intro?
Well, I just thought I don't know.
You know what? Let's say funky ska.
Oh, funky ska.
Yeah. Okay. Let's say. So now we're going to create. We say funky ska song, and then you give it a couple of a couple of keywords like upbeat.
Yep.
Theme song.
Okay.
What else do we want to? Maybe let's put like trumpet. We want to make sure there's lots of trumpet.
I love a bit of trumpet.
And maybe like trombone.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So I've got funky ska song. I put punk because I want that kind of fast beat to it.
Yeah.
Upbeat theme song, trumpet, trombone. It'll also suggest some. So it says like tenor saxophone is one. Hanging out is another theme that it's picked up on that it thinks it might want.
Okay.
Let's add, I don't know, a couple of these. Tuba, yeah, why not? Okay, great. And now we say we want a custom one and we want our lyrics.
Okay.
So I'm just going to put in the first verse.
What did you write in ChatGPT as the prompt?
Write a song about the podcast, Reddit on Reddit. It's a theme song that mentions Nelson and Cambo and the website Reddit. Okay, so I'm just going to put in the verse.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to put Reddit on Reddit because it didn't actually mention that in the yet.
Okay.
And then you can put parameters. So I'm going to put trumpet solo. And see what it does.
Oh, I love a trumpet solo.
All right, so
is it going to be somebody singing trumpet solo?
All right, that'll now start creating our music for us.
Okay.
What of the examples I've shown you seem to be pretty impressed by this.
I'm very impressed by this. I think it's so interesting. I was actually listening to an AI specialist a little while ago, and they were talking about how AI puts itself together and how it's really difficult with actually images and videos. And people might have seen recent AI videos because the whole idea is the way that AI works is it predicts. That's the whole thing. AI just predicts. It predicts what you want to hear, kind of thing. It predicts what response you want. And it's just over time, obviously, gathering information as to what a better prediction is versus a worse one. And so for an image, that literally comes down to pixels. It comes down to, is this pixel right next to the pixel next to it, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's really interesting to me that they've done that with music because obviously it's like it's very complex in how you can arrange notes and and styles and things like that. So yeah, man, I think that's so interesting.
What I'm going to do, the first one is ready, but I'm actually going to extend it by adding an outro, and I'm actually going to set it to auto generate, which means it might add lyrics. We don't know.
Okay,
we're just saying you do whatever you think now,
guys. This is live AI. Okay, anything could happen.
So here's the thing about the hot button issue with AI is generally like, are they stealing?
Yeah, that's a big thing.
And
as a side note, can I add to that?
sure.
Ellen, my fiance,
Yes.
she works for a company that is an online marketplace. So they have stock footage, stock images, stuff like that. And they have had issues like legal battles, right? Because there's real people uploading content.
Yeah.
And basically AI like ChatGPT, although not ChatGPT, have scraped these like online marketplaces, even to the extent where people have been AI has been found out in the past because they include the watermark sometimes,
or like a bad attempt at removing it.
Yeah. Where they are, obviously just literally ripping images and putting them kind of together in the right way. And so it's been really interesting hearing from her side of the, fence, where she's like, they're having to talk to lawyers and stuff. And they've actually done this ethical, they've partnered with this ethical AI. Because they're like, look, we're going to purposefully give it stuff. The authors will actually get a certain amount if people pay for it, blah, blah, blah. But the funny thing is AI has to be taught, has to be trained. And they've recently gone to this AI that they've partnered with and been like, how you going? How you looking? So they type in a prompt and it just comes up with absolute rubbish. And they're like,
damn it.
Turns out you need like a lot of time and effort and money to create a good AI. And yes, anyway.
So we've got two options that are now ready for us.
Okay.
I will say this, though. So, the questions come up, is this stealing? I will say, not in its defense. This company has been sued by a lot of record labels with accusations that they have scraped. And what you can't do is add anyone's name. So I couldn't write Frank Sinatra. And if you add it to a prompt, it removes it. And it will replace it with words it thinks are like jazz
like
singer or lounge singer, stuff like that.
Right. Okay.
But presumably that means they are maybe stealing stuff. Was my point.
Maybe. Well, you just don't want it to be like, play something like Frank Sinatra and it sounds exactly like Frank Sinatra. Then they're in like more legal trouble, I think. But anyway.
Anyway, do you want to hear version 1 of the Reddit on Reddit?
Let's do it.
All right,
Let's do it.
Go.
Cambo and Nelson, they're here to say, gonna dive into Reddit in a Scott-style way. From shower thoughts to ask Reddit dreams, it's the best damn podcast you've ever seen. Reddit on Reddit. Cambo and Nelson, they never miss a beat. With funky grooves and a punk rock treat. From Todd to creepy pasta spooks. Tune in 'cause it's fire better than your books. Get ready for the dive on Reddit. Get ready for the dive. We're live on Reddit. Get ready for the dive on Reddit. Get ready to subscribe. You won't regret it.
Yeah. Amazing that happened straight away.
It definitely, I think the word punk rock took over maybe too much. It really did have.
There was a lot going on.
Yeah,
I feel like music-wise, but like it's amazing that it's been able to do that and still sound decent.
There is a bit where it's like, I don't know how they're going to do the chorus. I just wrote Reddit on Reddit. Under chorus, and it kind of does like a game vocal. Very impressed with it.
Yeah, that's
anyway.
Really
it could be stealing. We don't know.
Could be stealing. It's fine. Probably.
But I thought it was it's an interesting program that has interesting implications.
Okay, how about this? What if we ask listeners if they're interested, if they can be bothered, to write some lyrics for a Reddit on Reddit podcast song? You give us the style and stuff that you want us to prompt the AI with, and we'll create it and play it on the show.
Yep.
I feel like that could be fun.
Cool.
some unique lyrics about how we're awesome.
Obviously.
Good. And how people should rate us 5 stars.
yeah.
That
That's
has
good,
to be in
actually. Maybe instructions on how to do that in song form.
First, open your podcast app. Okay. Cool. Now it's time for the Ask Me Anything.
Nelson, I've made a thing.
Oh.
You got the questions. We have the answers. So ask us anything at all.
There you go.
Oh my God, I'm so glad I never have to do that again.
Well, it depends.
If we're going to be sued.
yeah.
This is the Ask Me Anything. Where listeners of the show, just like you, listener, can write in and ask us anything you want.
Go on here from OK Wave. They say, okay, this is going to be quick. 1, what do you mean by Stacey really likes a hot water bottle? Wait, like in bed to warm her feet or something for her hands while on the couch? Do you mean like the one you fill and place on your tum to help cramps? Because for whatever reason, I pictured a disposable plastic water bottle. Skip to part 2 if that's a stupid question. Not a stupid question.
Not a stupid
As we
question,
learned
potentially.
on the subreddit, I don't think Americans are as aware of hot water bottles.
Yeah, it's funny. One of those things that we just mentioned as like, people know what a hot water bottle.
You know that regular thing, yeah.
It's like the hot water bottle is rubber, I would say, right? Like,
Yeah.
Like as
This came from our subreddit. Someone actually
Yeah.
posted a image of it to be like, this is what a hot water bottle is.
Oh, okay, yeah. Just check that out, I guess.
Yeah.
That makes me sad because it makes me realize that Johnson and Friends,
Oh, yeah. That was an Australian show.
that is a cartoon of which features a hot water bottle as one of the characters, is not enjoyed by all Americans.
Yeah.
You're missing out there.
They continue. While we're on break, Trap does look really good. Josh H. has aged so much, and the trailer made me feel ancient. I'd say it looks pretty good for his age. Number 2.
What did we talk about that?
I think we briefly mentioned the movie Trap.
What's the movie Trap?
It's a new M. Night Shyamalan movie
Oh, yeah, okay.
where Josh Hartnett is trapped in that concert.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you mentioned that. Okay, yeah. I got it. Good. I'm up to date, guys.
Number 2. Okay, back to speaking of Stacey. Which one of y'all's wedding am I invited to? Really, either is fine, but preferably the one during the time of the year where there will be less Australian things to bite, sting, eat, or kill me, or the one with the best food, or the most eccentric family. Please ISVP, as I will need time to coordinate international flights or accommodations. P.S. So bizarre, we Americans remain so terrified of y'all's spiders when our ex-president is a felon and everyone has firearms.
Yeah, well, to each their own.
I think yours has more potential for deadly animal because it's like on a farm.
Oh, right.
Mine's quite city-based.
Mine's also in winter, though.
That's true, yeah.
And I would say,
spiders come out in summer.
yeah, there's even snakes and stuff aren't
Yeah.
coming out in winter.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think, and yes, listener, I know the question you're asking. Oh, Nelson, why is he having a wedding in winter? Because it's way cheaper.
It is a lot
It's
cheaper.
so much cheaper.
Yeah.
We're literally saving $6,000
And
at a minimum.
Here's the fun hack. Nelson's having his wedding in winter, but is also having it in a part of Australia that doesn't really have winter.
Yeah.
They just have summer and then hotter summer.
Yeah. That's sort of
So, like,
true
it'll be
still,
like
yeah.
Melbourne.
Yeah.
Melbourne spring.
Melbourne's. Yeah, that's right.
But you're invited to Nelson's.
Yeah, sure. Come along. Obviously, I can't give the details over the podcast.
No.
But you are invited, and we expect you there with a gift.
Oh, naturally.
Expensive gift. Here's the weird thing. This is like slight tangent. Ellen and I have this slight conundrum, really, right? Where our families are in different states. So we live in the state that my family's in, but we're actually going to get married in the state with her. For the majority of her family, there's some here. And we, when it comes to like giving a gift, right, in a wedding, so people often say, people of our age, I would say, it's like, hey, we've got a wishing well.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do that because I know that roughly half our guests are going to spend a lot of money getting over to the other state and paying for accommodation and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to convey that I legitimately don't want them
Yeah.
to.
But what about the family that's already there?
Well, they obviously need this. No, the truth is it's not even in like the main city or close to the main city. It's still like 3 hours drive. So even they will be like.
Is there a way to just not have an option? Like when you get there?
I think so. But here's the thing. Because I really genuinely don't want people to bring a gift. And I don't know how to properly convey that where people won't be like, oh, but we're probably expected to give a gift. You know? I feel like we need to, guys, we're live AIing again. We're live AIing. ChatGPT is going to help us out.
Okay, I'm saying, tell me how to communicate that I don't want gifts from guests at my wedding. Make it polite.
Okay.
We are truly grateful for your love and support. Your presence at our wedding is the greatest gift we could ask for. In lieu of gifts, we kindly request that you simply join us in celebrating our special day.
Nah, to me, that's rubbish.
Okay.
To me, that is...
To me,
that people read between the lines.
People will read, but yeah,
and feel as though that it's implying that you do need to give gifts.
Make it far more firm. Here we go. We kindly request no gifts, as your presence at our wedding is all we wished for. Thank you for understanding.
That's kind of the thank you for understanding. I think really signs it off, actually.
Now make it rude. Just in case.
Okay.
No gifts, just show up. Thanks.
Okay, now make this lyrics to a song.
In the style of bluegrass.
And then we'll send that song to
Okay, no gifts, just show up. Thanks. Just show up is a great one.
Just show up. Just be there. All right. Thank you, OK Wave, for writing into us. OK Wave did this through our subreddit. Yeah. So you can reach us there or our Discord or by email, readitpodcast@gmail.com. We'd appreciate it if you'd write in and give someone a go on. Give us some lyrics to a song, perhaps. And rate the show. Subscribe if you haven't already. I wonder
what your next podnapping after next week's going to be, Nelson.
Yeah.
That's hard to say.
That's annoying, but I feel like AI might be involved.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. But that's it. So thanks for listening, and we will read you later.